Hello, welcome back to my closet, and here are my top 10 items to find at the thrift store. Okay, so I actually have 11, but I went through my top 10 and then I ended up with another one, which is not quite anyway, we'll get to that at the end. So my top 10 things I always look for when I'm thrifting, and things that I probably won't buy unless I find them at the thrift store. You know what I'm saying? So these are, tried and true. You'll pretty much find them at every thrift store. And I put a tricky one at the top of the list because it's antiques. I love antiques. I love anything old. I love anything vintage. But thrift stores don't necessarily know they're antiques. So you can usually find antiques and really old vintage things for a good price at thrift stores. At antique stores, they know they're antique. They know about the item, so they are more expensive. Not that you shouldn't go to antique stores if you're looking for something specific. That's a good place to go. But if you just are at thrift stores and you see something like a teacup or, an old tin or something that looks vintage, even if it's not, and it just has the look of something antique or vintage, that's a good place to find. Number 2, kids' clothes. Definitely thrift kids' clothes. I rarely buy new clothes for my kids unless it's something they need specifically and I can't thrift. Shoes are hard once they get to a certain age, but because kids grow out of their clothes so fast and you're always having to replenish their wardrobe, thrifting is amazing. Not only because it's cheaper to, fill their closets back up when they're growing out of things, but kids grow out of their clothes so fast that they don't get a chance to wear them out. So there's a tricky kind of gray area when it comes to boys' pants. At least from my experience, they tend to wear their knees out. So it's kind of harder to find boys' pants that don't have worn knees or the drawstring missing. I did this every time I thrift boys' pants, and I'm like, why is the drawstring always missing? Anyway, that's another rant. But boys' pants are a little bit trickier, but like anything else, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, I have some gorgeous brand name things for my kids that are brand new, basically. Because half the time, kids get brand new clothes for their birthday or for Christmas, and by the time they wear them, they're grown out of them, and you can see them at the thrift store with the tag still on. So my kids have Columbia, they have Burton, they have like all kinds of cool brands, but I've never bought anything like that new. The only time I'll buy them new stuff is if it's like the beginning of the year, they need new shoes because they're going to wear the crap out of them. But like rubber boots, when there's only like a short period of time that they wear rubber boots, always thrift rubber boots. So, kids' clothes, you can definitely get at the thrift store. Books. There are so many books at the thrift store that are, if not new, pristine, because people read a book, they're done, they get rid of it. It's way cheaper than going to the bookstore if there's something you want to keep. Obviously, the library is cheaper still because it's free. But if there's something that you want to hold on to, books and, like I've gotten scripts, I've gotten like sheet music books, I've gotten really old vintage sheet music books that are beautiful. I've gotten like bestsellers that are just recently out. And, you find it's very surprising if there's something you're looking for and you cannot find it, especially the big city ones like Value Village or Savers or one of those that have a big book section. My thrift stores here are pretty small, so it's less, but generally speaking, books always buy at the thrift store. Seasonal decor. I mean, people change their themes for Christmas or, there's always little Eastery things, little Valentine's things, if you tend to do the, decorate your house for every season, don't go buying it new every single time. And, you will start to collect little things every now and then when you go. You'll see something that's completely out of season, but they always have Christmas stuff at the thrift store no matter what time of year you go. And you will start to accumulate and have a little collection of thrift find seasonal decor that you love, and you don't have to go on Amazon and buy a bunch of crap that you don't know if you like or not until you get it home. And then you get it home, and then what are you going to do? Give it to the thrift store. You don't like it, you give it away. Seasonal decor is always something to find at the thrift store. Dishware. I most always will buy dishes at the thrift store. We go through glasses like nobody's business. I have a cat that loves to just knock over glasses just for shits and giggles because he's an orange cat and he's a bit of an asshole. But we're always breaking glasses. So I always get glasses at the thrift store. I like to find cool patterns of placemats, cool patterns of plates or bowls, or, I found some really cool vintage Pyrex, Fire King, some of that jade color Fire King. I loved it. I had a great bowl, but Steve broke it. Anyway, like teacups, if you're looking for vintage, there's, dishes upon dishes that's where to go for. Now, if you want like a full set, they usually have full sets of dishes there too. And sometimes they're seasonal, Christmas dishes and things like that. But yes, thrifting dishes all the way. Other thing that bigger thrift stores have more so than mine is a lot of art or wall decor, mirrors, that kind of stuff. I love the kind of eclectic feel of a sourced, collected, excuse me, a collected art wall where everything is kind of found and it's not necessarily all matchy out of a catalog. You go in those houses, the ones I'm talking about, where you go in those houses and you look around and it's like, wow, this is a page out of a magazine. Like, did you buy everything that was on the page of that catalog? You know what I mean? I love an accumulated house where things are found and displayed as you find them. So definitely art, wall decor, mirrors. I love finding mirrors. I rarely find them. Bigger thrift stores always have wonderful, cool, vintagey looking mirrors, but I can never find them because I live here and I have 2 itty bitty thrift stores close to me, and I do my best. I do pretty good, but definitely wall art and mirrors are very cool to find at the thrift store. The other thing is linens. I have bought, and I bought an amazing duvet cover for $5. It was a king size duvet cover. I loved it, but my duvet was queen size. So I went to Winners and bought a $100 duvet to go in my $4 duvet cover. Go figure. But linens you will always find. And some people are kind of weird about sheets and stuff. But I mean, if you feel like you might want to look, you look at things, you inspect them, you check. But like the older sheets, they're so soft because they've been washed about 700 times. And they're broken in and soft and so nice. But I get how people could be weirded about sleeping on other people's sheets. Totally get it. And same thing for towels. You got to pick through, but you will find brand new with tags, towels, pillows, sheets. I mean, people get things for wedding showers, for, God knows, housewarming parties, and they never use it. I have a stack of towels that are still wrapped up with a bow on it that I've never used, that I won in a Mother's Day basket. But people just donate that stuff because they don't want it in their house. So, or maybe it's not the color they like. So you will find linens, whether it's dish towels that are decorative, that look very Anthropology, that has happened. You can find decorative pillowcases that are different to your sheets, but I kind of like the mix mash sheets as well. I never used to. I had to have a matching sheet set, but I've kind of liked the mix and match of linens as well. But yes, linens, curtains, tablecloths, bed sheets, like all that stuff, anything that you can throw in the washer and doesn't have stains on it, you're good. And I think it's a great source to look at the thrift store for those things. The other thing is candles. People think that I don't want somebody's half-burned candle, but you don't buy the half-burned candles unless it's a scent you really like. I've done it. I have bought a half-burnt Bath & Body Works candle because it was my favorite scent ever. I don't care. It's fine. But I'm always on the hunt for tapered candles because you can usually find brand new, like not new, but like not burnt taper candles. I bought some gorgeous dark green ones I used in my spring decor that my cat knocked off and broke. He's having a moment. He's having some sort of rebellion. I don't know what's going on with him. Anyway, yes, candles. Pillar candles, like any larger candle you can always cut off and use again, but you're going to burn them anyway. And if you're not, then you find, I've found some beautiful small taper candles that were never burnt, but they're gorgeous and I probably won't burn them. But yes, you will find candles at the thrift store. I guarantee it. And this one is one of my favorites and I always look for it. It's baskets. I love a good basket. There's never a basket that I've seen that I didn't like. Pretty much. So I always thrift baskets because you never know. They're great for like catch-alls around your house because if you're like me, there's piles of crap everywhere. So you have baskets. You can larger baskets. If you want to find like big laundry baskets, they have them like wicker baskets. I have them in the bathroom for like magazines. Remember when people used to read magazines in the bathroom? Everybody just sits on their phone. That was a time. But again, I put gifts in baskets. Baskets are great. Thrift baskets, you're all set. The other thing, and the number 10 on my list, is costume jewelry. When you have an outfit or something that you're like, oh, I really would love to have this kind of necklace to go with it, or this length of chain, or some cool earrings that, thrift that stuff. You don't need to go and order something if you have an event to go to that you want something specific for. Now, me, I pretty much wear the same earrings all the time. But if I was looking for something for a costume or for an event or something, I just would go to that wall in the thrift store that has all the costume jewelry. And sometimes you can get pretty good, cute stuff. Like I found stuff from J. Crew and, it's still costume jewelry, but it's nice costume jewelry. But yeah, you can find jewelry, brooches, sometimes there's vintage. But yeah, definitely check out the thrifted costume jewelry section. And I have one more bonus one. I have number 11, the bonus thing to thrift. And it's not always a thrift store thing. Furniture. So I love antique furniture. Love it. I have antique furniture in my house everywhere. But I've inherited a lot of that. But sometimes you can find it at thrift stores. And it doesn't always have to be antique. You can find Facebook Marketplace is the place for furniture. So that's why it wasn't really thrifting. It was still secondhand though. Go on Facebook Marketplace, check your area. If there's something specific you're looking for, a desk, a wingback chair, a love seat, have a look on Facebook Marketplace before you go to your regular furniture stores. And trust me, there is some gems on Facebook Marketplace if you're patient and look often. So that is my top 10 plus one things to always thrift. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this and found it somewhat useful so that you know the things that I always look for in the thrift store. What do you look for? Is there something that I did not put on the list that I should be looking for at the thrift store? Do let me know in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I also have a members community if you want to be a part of our fictional adult world. And you can check that out in the info bar below. And that's it for me. So thank you so much for watching. Happy thrifting. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.